are listening to Rouge Radio, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
It's time to get the point as Rouge Radio is ready to kick off.
Ready!
The best football talk with the best in the business.
So what is the cost? You have 2 first-round picks this year because the Argos were dumb enough to trade for Drew Willie.
A few rookies.
We go directly to the on-field product. We welcome to the show the 20th overall pick in this past Sunday's CFL draft, DeAndre Wright of the Alouettes. DeAndre, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
And the occasional Hall of Famer.
Please welcome Doug Brown, who is one of the members of the current class of 2016 in the CFL Hall of Fame. Doug, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you guys for the kind words and for having me on the program.
Rouge Radio is on the air. Here's your hosts, Robert Dalton and Tony Allen.
Rouge Radio podcast is sponsored by the good people over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Tell them the boys at Rouge Radio sent you by entering Rouge in as the promo code. You get 20% off your order as well as free worldwide shipping. My name is Irv, and welcome back to 2026, broadcasting live from Winnipeg, Manitoba and Medicine Hat, Alberta. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Tony Allen and Rob Dalton. Gentlemen?
Well, thank you, Irv. Now, that was a nice creative opening of 2026. Yes, this is the Rouge Radio Podcast, episode 545. And as always, yes, you can go to manscaped.com, enter the promo code Rouge. In fact, I'm not going to be doing Irv's job, but let's go to our partner that we have. It's Sports Interaction. Go to SIA.com and SIA.com/Rouge. And your first deposit will get matched up to 100% upon signing up. And we'll get into our off-season talk, but I managed to have an addiction almost to gambling over the off season. Nothing to get help over, but my addiction is to winning. I have been parlaying a lot of bets, a lot of winning, and then transferring them over to the next week following the NFL. So I'm kind of like, what am I going to do without the NFL as the Super Bowl ends? But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. It's the off season. We've got some predictions to go through for free agency. But first, Tony, how's it going, my man? It's been a while.
It has. It's been a pretty good off season. Actually, I don't even think I've talked to you since. I don't think we even exchanged Christmas pleasantries this year. We were so done with each other and the show and the season.
Yeah. Hey, did you notice I've got the banner?
I did. I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, okay,
no more
good.
protesting. No more duress. We're not. People in Winnipeg are no longer in duress. Turn your flags back right side up.
Yeah, and it was funny because I had it. I fixed it, and then I'm setting up everything up for the show, and I'm really realizing, oh, it's even further back than I remember. So I actually put it up. It's right behind me. It's a little bit blurred just the way that I have my the camera set up, but yeah. So we've got we're gonna rush through this show. We've got some predictions. I put out a list of free agency predictions, and it was more of like, these are the impact guys. And since then, I mean, we could add Austin Mack to it. I don't know if you want to talk about that. Austin Mack recently released by the Montreal Alouettes, but today some breaking news. Darius Bledek of the Ottawa Redblacks has been re-signed, so we could take him off the list. And then as of like an hour ago, Tim White, formerly of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who was released a week and a half ago, has signed on with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, which is perfect because that would have been my prediction. But before we get into free agent predictions, we're going to bring back a fantastic bit that we used to do. It's called the Mystery Deck. Although I wasn't prepared with the theme music to play the Who, but I'm guessing that's some kind of copyright. But the Mystery Deck, Tony, what do you got for me here?
Yeah, do you want? And the thing is, like, what triggered this is, I downloaded a card grading app to grade cards because my youngest collects hockey cards and whatever. We were grading cards, and it got really fun to see what was worth what. And then I remembered I've got a couple of full CFL sets from 2003, and I was going through it, and first off, there was a Ricky Ray rookie card in there, and for some reason, when I scan this card, it can't be right, but I got to research it. I've got to research this card to see if it's the right card. But it uses AI to look the internet for this card, and it gives you an average of what the cards have sold for in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And my son scans a Chris Zarka card.
Oh, the Zarka
Chris
train.
Zarka. $70 this card came up as.
Wow.
So right out the I'm like, I don't know if that's right, but let's get him in some hard plastic right now, just in case. But we found some Ricky Ray rookie card in there from the 2002 season, and I think I had a Doug Flutie Grey Cup Grey Expectations cards, like anyways. But I'm going through these regular cards. Let's see who's in here. Let's do soon, and I won't go through a long list because I'm like, man, this would be an amazing mystery deck, and mostly because if you asked me to name players from 2003, I probably wouldn't even remember. I'd go with safe answers for people that were probably in the Canadian Football League
Ben
in
Cahoon,
2003.
yeah.
You're getting Calvin Anderson and Terry Vaughn, and you're getting those guys because I don't know, maybe a Ryan Thelwell or something like that, right? But as I was going through these cards, it's like, holy cow! Like I remember all of these guys, maybe not specific details. I'm like, I wonder if you would be the same way because we're pretty close in age, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm much older than you.
I think you're a few years older.
I'm gonna be 50 this summer.
I'll be 45 in April. So okay,
all
so
right,
5, yeah.
But still, even at 40 some 2003, you're probably old enough to like you're in your 20s now. You hit your 20s.
Yeah.
You probably got a good memory. And like I drank most of my 20s away and I still remember these guys.
All right.
So that's the backstory, how I came up. So these players are going to be the 2003 set from the 2002 season.
All right. So
So
Sean White would have just entered his prime around this time, right?
Yeah. So you've got a bit of a cheat here, but obviously a lot of these guys might have a shorter career, but it's going to be I wish this was 2023 and then we could be like our 20-year memory lane or whatever. But either way, 2026, we're 23rd anniversary. Like this is the season we're going to highlight because this is a lot of fun. So again, not a lot of history with this guy. He played 3 seasons in the Canadian Football League.
Okay.
He played 2002. Okay. Sorry. He played 2003. No, sorry. Yeah, 2003, 2004 with the BC Lions.
Okay.
Played 2005 with the Ottawa Renegades, and then we never saw him again. Why is it significant? Because he was the 2003 Outstanding Rookie.
Oh.
And the Jackie Parker Outstanding Rookie in the West Award winner.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
I do want to make sure I have my dates correct, but yes.
Okay, so you
2003 and 4 in BC, 2005 with the Ottawa Renegades, and he won the Outstanding Rookie that year.
And those were the only the teams that the only years that he played.
Yep, short career,
a
fantastic one, which is why I remember him. And again, this whole card set. This is the I guess I should probably mention it so there's no there's no copyright thing, but we did take these from the Atomic 2003 Pacific CFL set. He was I can give you more because again, if you want hits, I think it's fair because this is clearly a very streamlined year for players.
Yeah, when you said rookie and in BC, I automatically went to Jason Claremont, but I think Claremont obviously he had a longer year. And I think he was a rookie in 2002. But he only played 3 years. Oh, man.
He was a slot back, I can give you that much. From Boca Raton, Florida.
Oh, yeah, you're just kind of just adding invalid information to that. Okay, so he was a receiver with the BC Lions and then went to Ottawa. And he started in 2003.
Entered the CFL. This is his player card, so give you time to think.
Okay.
And then we have to wrap it up because we can't do this forever. But he entered the CFL with the BC Lions in 2003 after stints with New Orleans and Frankfurt of NFL Europe. Left Eastern Illinois, ranked 4th on the school's all-time list with 1,298 receiving yards.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember who was on that team. That was Dave Dickinson's first year. So you got G-Roy, obviously not him. There was Lyle Green, but he was a running back. Chris Brazel, but no, he had a longer career, and I don't think he played in Ottawa.
Now we got dead air.
Yeah,
I know this is going to kill your perfect record from the past, but I will admit you had more material when I used 10-year veterans.
Yeah, 3 years played. Oh man, I'm stuck. It's like
when I was researching him, Third Down Nation had a interview with him saying that he wished he had stayed in the Canadian Football League longer. He left too early. Even he admits he left too early to pursue other careers.
Okay, rookie. I feel the
only thing I have left now is to give you his jersey number and maybe show you the card with his name covered up.
Okay, no, I don't want.
Either I don't know if your jersey number would help you because I don't remember his jersey number.
Well, I mean, if he was a receiver in BC, I mean, it was somewhere in the 80s, right? I mean, that's I don't think that's really giving anything away. Okay, so receiver. So I'm going. There's line Willie Hurst. Oh,
it'd be a good test to see if we should keep going with these or not. Because to me, it's a name I remember. I knew who he was and remembered him playing.
Frank Catullo.
Frank Catullo is correct.
Is that it? Holy shit.
Good job. I told you.
All right.
Pull it out of your hat. There it is. Rookie card. Frank Catullo rookie card.
If Frank Catullo is actually following us on TikTok or whatever, watching this, you're still remember 23 years later. Maybe not as...
and the whole deck is this. This whole deck's are guys like that. Like you said, like you had trouble finding his name, right?
I should have had him with rookie.
Did you remember everything about him now?
Yes, I even remember what he looks like. I remember his first, obviously his rookie year. I remember because he was also a returner. He also returned punts and kick returns. And I remember the first week one was against Winnipeg. Winnipeg went out to this big lead, and BC kind of came back. But I remember Catullo was actually returning.
Like even the guy I texted you a picture of, the Edmonton quarterback. I would never in a million years.
Oh yeah.
If you told me list all the quarterbacks for
I even forgot his name.
Since 2000, I would have been. As soon as I saw the card, I'm like, "You got to be kidding me, Bart Hendricks."
Bart Hendricks, that's who it was.
Bart Hendricks.
Does this count as the ceremonial name drops that we do?
Yeah, the first extremely random name drop.
All right. Okay. Let's. Okay. So. Let us know if you're watching this. Interesting enough, I like it. I mean, if you're gonna get to like names for like Frank Catullo, I think I could probably get him. I just
there you go.
Yeah. Let's go to our free agency predictions. As I said, I had 10 names, and I said, okay, these are the impact signings. These are the impact players that if you manage to assign them. Boom! You made a big dip, a big splash into the free agent pool. I had Marc-Antoine Decoy, Gerald Broxton, Wynton McManus, Charleston Rambo, Tim White, Darius Bledek. The previous two had already re-signed, so we'll take them off the board. Malik Carney, not Mark Carney, because I put M. Carney in there. I think a lot of people didn't, kind of. Janarian Grant, C.J. Rivas, and Jake Ceresno. So we'll start with the top one here, because I put these in order of impact. Marc-Antoine Decoy, safety out of Montreal. What's your prediction on that one? Because I think when Montreal released Austin Mack, I think it opened the door for them to resign. So I'm not completely convinced that Decoy leaves Montreal, but the door is still open to go ahead and predict. As of right now, There is no breaking news saying that he's going to be back. So what are your thoughts with this one?
Yeah, when you sent me the list, I kind of went through 3 teams that I thought were going to target them because it's tough to go all in on a team. It's like I picked the teams that I thought were going to be 3 that would kick the tires. And with this guy, like you, and then you kind of alluded to it, and it's the way I went. I got the first team probably in on him is just re-signing in Montreal.
Yeah.
And I know BC wants to get better, and Hamilton likes to shop around in the East and take players. So those were 3, but I had Montreal as the one I thought was most likely was just going to resign. And then I also had BC and the Tiger Cats kind of, a possibility on the outside looking in, but Montreal Alouettes and re-signing him because I think they've got a good culture there.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of got a team that's going to stay together, and they like people in Montreal like being in Montreal. So I put him re-signing there.
Yeah, I also thought maybe BC, but I think they're very happy with their safety work with Bullia. But I'm completely in the Duquois will resign camp. If he does make it to free agency and he gets an offer, I think he'll stays east, and I think he goes to Ottawa. To be honest with you, that is my dark horse for free agency. Jarrell Broxton, in my opinion, should have been the West nominee for most outstanding lineman out of BC. He got edged out by Jamarcus Hardrick, who also re-signed with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. At his position, I think you'd be silly if you thought that you're set at the guard or tackle position, which is why I think maybe Winnipeg, but I think this one is on the same group as Dequoy. I think he resigns in BC, but I think if he does make it to free agency, I think maybe he stays out west, maybe Winnipeg. I think that they have that spot, that upgrade available.
Yeah, and honestly, with the I think with the news dropping today, was it today that my days I've been recovering. I'm on injury leave from work from a retinal detachment surgery, so I've got nothing to do but listen to radio and hang out online. But after the news of top Canadian, our favorite quarterback, re-signing in BC, I think that kind of paves the way for Broxton to stay in BC.
Yeah.
But he is an impact player, like you said, and impact players will easily chase the money. So as one of probably the most sought after players and for what his position is, it's possibly, but I think the re-signing of my favorite quarterback, who for some reason I can't remember his name to save the life of me right now.
Curtis Warwick's brother,
quarterback. But and I don't know why every time something comes up, Buck Pierce wants to come out. I don't know why I say that, but either way, I have him staying in BC.
I think with
Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, with BC's offensive line for the last few years, it's just been like bad, right? Just not reaching their full potential. So when they had it, I thought, you just got to spend the money. Nathan Rourke's salary restriction within the extension makes this possible. Whit McManus from Toronto, I don't anticipate him re-signing it. This is the one where, it's possible, but in this one, I think he stays out east. I think he makes it to Hamilton. I think they shore up that defense in Hamilton with he's very flexible amongst the linebacking core. Where his play in Toronto, but I do think that he makes his way to Hamilton. Hamilton likes to pay for those big time free agent splashes. This is no different. I think McManus makes them a legit Grey Cup or at least Eastern Division contender with that defense. So that's my prediction. What do you think with this one?
Yeah, I had him actually coming out west. Ottawa was my second pick because I feel like Ottawa shows up on my list several times because I think Ottawa might be getting ready to go all in on something because they only have Drew Brown for who knows how long and at his maximum. And I feel like Ottawa might be getting close to let's build a team, because I think there's some excitement. But I have my number one destination is Edmonton right now, because Edmonton for the last couple of years does have a history of making those big splashes into the free agent pool, and
especially
and
on the
at that
defense.
position, I feel like maybe that's where the Elks want to start adding something better. So I have Edmonton in the front runner on my list, but I also have Ottawa in there and Toronto, because they're going to need to make some big moves and make some signings. So I put them in my top three.
Yeah, that's a fair guess. Charleston Rambo had a down year last year, but I would probably preface it by saying that they were playing with the fourth string quarterback for the majority of the year. When healthy, is a pretty bona fide top tier receiver. Maybe not a go-to guy, but he is going to be an impactful guy, in my opinion. I think he leaves Montreal. It's clearly Montreal feels that they can get better production with less money. And I'm looking at Calgary. I'm looking at Calgary as being as a destination for Charleston Rambo. You're a Calgary Stampeders fan. We remember Kenyon Rambo, so it fits the bill for anyone who still has their Rambo jerseys from back in circa 2005 to 2010, somewhere around that area. And he fits the bill. I think he's a similar built in Damien Alford, who went down south and signed on with the NFL, with Reggie Begelton restructuring his contract. I think that is a perfect fit, Charleston Rambo to the Calgary Stampeders. You're nodding your head. This seems like you agree.
It's hilarious because everything you said is what I was going to say.
Nice.
Other than the standpoint that the Stampeders, I find when they dip into the free agency pool, it doesn't seem like they go the receiver way. They like to find their receivers. To me, I don't know if they feel it's easier to find the receiver, but when it did come to this, I think Calgary is hosting the Grey Cup this year. They want to be there. So this is why I think this is the first time in a long time we're going to see Calgary really active in the free agent market to bring this together. And he wasn't on our list, but Derek Moncrief resigns. So that was huge for the Calgary Stampeders, but he wasn't on our list, but I want to throw that in yours. And again, my phone was just pinging with Stampeders notifications all week with players coming into camp, invited to camp, contracts, like a lot of young guys, and they're going defense and offense. But yeah, Rambo was number one. Calgary was the number one destination on my list for Rambo. I also had BC and the Elks sniffing around there. And I threw in the Alouettes because if they're going to lose something at receiver, they might want to bring something in. So that was the only team the only guy I put four teams kind of around, but Calgary was the number one team I had associated with Rambo right now.
Yeah. Malik Kearney had a very, I wouldn't want to say highly productive season, but he was just everywhere when he was given the opportunity. Obviously wants a more first string type role, which he's probably not going to get in Saskatchewan, but I think this is a phenomenal player. I wouldn't be surprised to see Saskatchewan bring him back at this time. It doesn't appear to be a fact. I think Malik Kearney, I have him with Edmonton. I think that's the kind of player that Ed Hervey likes the short out to retain on a defensive line, to shore up give him a little bit more speed on the edge rush. But I also think Winnipeg is a likely destination too as well. I think Winnipeg does need some help on that defensive line to get to the quarterback, because they're going to have some hunger pain or some early pains in that secondary to start. So I think that to ease that, I think Winnipeg makes a big splash. If not Malik Kearney, we'll talk more about another guy who's on this list, but we'll get to that in a bit. Where do you got Malik Kearney going?
I have him resigning in Saskatchewan. I think winning a Grey Cup there, I think having success there. Players love playing there. And all my jokes aside, for the past 15 years, however we've been doing this podcast at the expense of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, having sitting in Mosaic Stadium around Roughriders fans, and I admit it's a beautiful stadium. I wouldn't want to leave that stadium to go play in McMahon or Commonwealth, maybe BC Place. I've never been to I want to call it Canadians. I don't know what it's called now, but
Princess
it's probably
Auto.
pathetic. I still want to call it Canadians, but I've been to Ottawa, nice stadium, but I don't know. I think Saskatchewan's got a nice hometown discount on this guy.
Mhm.
He probably likes being there, and I can't see why Saskatchewan wouldn't at least be one of the teams you're talking about for a repeat for the Grey Cup. So I have him resigning there, but I also have Calgary at number 2 on my list, and BC also as a destination for the Lions.
Yeah. Next one, Janarian Grant, who had a down year, but that was only considering the fact that Janarian Grant wasn't playing completely healthy. And when I say down year, compared to previous years where he was just lighting up everywhere, I have Janarian Grant to Saskatchewan. I think their return game is there. Whatever is going to happen with Mario Alford, I don't anticipate Alford being back. And I think Janarian Grant fits the bill. It's a nice piece. And I imagine that Rider fans would just absolutely love Janarian Grant returning touchdowns for the Riders as opposed to against their team for once. That's my prediction. Janarian Grant to the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, and again, I have the Calgary Stampeders very aggressive in this free agency, and I don't think the Calgary Stampeders have had a return specialist since I
Larry
have
Taylor.
no idea. Pardon?
Larry Taylor.
Yeah, so it's an element they could have, and I mean they've had some players that have done well in the past, but I even remember the show we had Mark Stevens, the Calgary Stampeders play-by-play guy, and even he jokes it's like if you've told me the Stampeders haven't returned a kick for a touchdown and since the 80s, we'd believe you because it was it's ridiculous. So again, a very aggressive Calgary Stampeders there. I also put Saskatchewan on my list and Hamilton.
The next all of a sudden I just had my phone came on. CJ Rivas, linebacker / defensive back out of Saskatchewan. I think this fits Edmonton. I have Edmonton as playing a big role in here. If he doesn't re-sign with Saskatchewan, which doesn't look like a foregone conclusion, I have Edmonton and also Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg does fit that that secondary fits him perfectly, and they have some holes. It looks like Terrell Bonds is not going to come back. I think Elijah McGee, who they signed out from Ottawa after the season ended. Demario Houston doesn't look to be back. I think this fits the bill, and I know Mike O'Shea. Mike O'Shea definitely loves his veterans, especially when it comes to the secondary. I think this fits a little bit more than a lot of people are going to be admitting to. So yeah, Edmonton, Winnipeg for CJ Rivas.
That's funny. You know what? One thing I think I like about our show is we don't agree on everything. But and when I say we don't agree, I don't mean we fight about it. We just have different ideas on things like this. That's why I like the show. But sometimes we sync up so perfectly it's creepy. And we kind of already did it once in this preview, and it happens again. For him, I have Winnipeg, Edmonton, and then Calgary a distant third.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's funny that we kind of sync up with those teams too.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I kind of in picture Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly and Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Yeah. All right. Don't even think about it. Just say the first thing you heard. Where you think he's going to go on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Edmonton.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll try to do it with this one here. We've got the last one. Jake Ceresna. Jake Ceresna is.
You want to just do it? 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I mentioned him before.
And then you can go first after it, but we'll see if we sync up.
All
Ready?
Right. Okay.
1,
2, 3.
3.
Winnipeg. Oh. Okay. You know what? It's not bad. What your selection is not bad. I think Toronto is where he had success. I'm also not ruling out Ottawa, which is where Ryan Dinwiddie is, and I think that really fits the bill. He likes to have people who he's used to, and Jake Ceresna has high production. I don't think he resigns in Edmonton, but I did say Winnipeg because I said, okay, if they can't land Malik Carney, I think Jake Ceresna fits the bill, gets to the quarterback. Didn't do it a lot last year, but I think that he's got a lot left in the tank. But I think Winnipeg or Ottawa is my selection. But I do like your Toronto selection, though.
Yeah, and honestly, I won't go on too long. It's just Toronto is the first time it really pops on. Is really the only time it pops on to my list here. So yeah, I went Toronto, and then I had Ottawa on my list as well, and then the Tiger Cats doing something possibly with them as well. But Toronto was my number one pick.
Yeah, and those are the impactful signings. I think if your team grabs any one of those ones, and of course, Austin Mack is still available. You know what? I think Austin Mack. Here's a boom, boom, boom. Edmonton Elks. I think Austin Mack has that Cody Fajardo relationship. I think Ed Hervey reaches out, and I think Austin Mack, if he's not already by the time free agency, is going to become an Edmonton Elk. So that is my prediction for that one. Hey, before we go, CFL, the salary cap going up by 3% to $6.2 million. For those who love to say that the CFL is dying, I don't know that many leagues, those Bush League teams, Bush League leagues that have an SMS that go up by that percentage. So,
well, when the XFL comes back for a fourth time, we'll make sure the CFL follows them for all their proper salary management needs, so that way we can follow a real league.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you're following the free agent frenzy on online, and you're going to quote, if you're going to post something, make sure to know the difference between re-signed and resigned. Okay. Yeah. There's a little hyphen in between the E and the S, because that says,
and that changes a lot. That little hyphen.
Yeah, that little hyphen changes a lot, because one either extends with their team or they just outright quit. Right? It's career. Yeah. So
you could either be extending someone's career or ending it. So yeah. Be careful.
Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No real final thoughts. I just did have one. One player I think is going to, he'll be my out of left field signing and best impact. I think Curly Gittins going to Ottawa boy, goes there and has a great season with Ottawa and in his hometown with Drew Brown. That was just kind of my completely rando, not an impact player, but kind of my bounce back free agent signing, or whatever you want to call feel good free agent signing of 2026, if it happens. Obviously, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's one I would like to signing. I'd like to see then. Ottawa boy goes back home and has part of a great year with the Ottawa Red Blacks.
And I believe he has history with Ryan Dinwiddie, so there is that. I feel that there's more to talk about the Dinwiddie to Ottawa scenario, and I guess we'll talk more about that when we get to our 9 teams in 9 weeks, somewhere in April. We'll probably come back in a couple of weeks to talk about the free agent the signings, to see how good we did. But for Tony, I'm Daltz. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter. Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.